Hello, welcome to Veritas. I'm your host, Adam Colazetti, and I'm here to guide you on a meditative adventure like no other. Join me and lose yourself in your imagination as we travel the outer reaches of the cosmos, quest for powerful talismans, and explore the inner realm of your subconscious. What might you find along the way? But be warned, fair traveler, this path is not for the faint of heart. On this path, of one thing I am certain, dragons be here. Are you ready? So how we're going to begin is you're going to sit comfortably, however that means to you. Could be legs crossed, could be sitting in a chair, whatever it is, sit somewhere comfortably that you feel relaxed and comfortable. And you're going to close your eyes and you're going to take 3 deep breaths. Deep breath in, count to 4. Deep breath out, count to 4. And each time you exhale, you're going to try and relax your body a little bit further. So you're going to inhale, pause, exhale. Pause. So as you're doing this and you're relaxing, it's in those pauses between breaths where we're going to go. That is where your creativity meets your imagination, meets your subconscious. So let's see what awaits you in the spaces between breaths. You have chosen the water. Cautiously, you step towards the edge of the pool, staring at the steps leading down into the water. The golden door beckons. One at a time, you remove your shoes and socks and most of your heavy clothes and stand ready. With a breath, you step into the pool and down onto the first step. The water is cool and a shudder starts from your toes and finds itself shooting up through the top of your head. A second step now, and your calves and knees feel the cool cleansing of the water. You hold your arms tight against your chest to conserve warmth. Then you are down to the third stair and submerge to the waist. With the last gulp of air, you decide you can't take it anymore and dive down into the water. Behind you, the sound of splashing water echoes across the cavern and then is still. You swim down towards the door. It is deeper than you expected, and you find yourself holding your nose to equalize your ears. Up close, although it is distorted from the water, you can see the door is majestic. It is carved what it looks like to be a sea dragon snaking around the edges of the frame. A single knob beckons you. Without hesitation, you reach for it and take hold. The door suddenly opens inward and like a vacuum pulls you and the water around you inside until the entire pool is drained and the door stands at the bottom of a dry well. Memories of playing in water slides as a child come to mind as you race through an unknown tunnel. Around you are bubbles and turbulence as you swish first this way and then that way. Finally, you spill out into what looks to be an ocean of endless blue. By instinct, you frantically try to swim up, but soon you realize that you cannot tell which way is up or down. Even when you blow bubbles, they seem to scatter in all directions rather than floating up like they are supposed to. This tiny peculiarity focuses your mind enough for you to realize that you are not out of breath. In fact, you are breathing. With each inhale, a river of bubbles flows in, and with each exhale, a river of bubbles flows out. You hold your hands out in front of you and let the bubbles massage them. How is this possible? Gradually, with each breath, you begin to relax until you find solace enough to simply float and appreciate your surroundings. Your hair floats lazily as you turn your head this way and that. Ahead of you, there seems to be a light, so you decide to follow that. Gently at first, and then with more enthusiasm, you begin to swim, remembering to kick your legs. Eventually, you find yourself approaching what looks to be a collection of lights rather than a single light source. What look like jellyfish float lazily in a great school together. Thousands of them spread in all directions, each about 2 feet in diameter. They pulse with a rhythm of color, but that is breathtaking yet chaotic. Some glow with purples and blues or lavender, while others with reds and pinks. It is a mosaic of light that moves and flows together, giving the entire school a sense of oneness. They were like a piece of art, each piece perfectly unique and yet perfectly in tune with the rest of the whole. The creatures part as you drift close, and before you have a chance to worry about being stung, you are enveloped as if by a great hand closing around you. But you are not stung. The tentacles touch your arms and legs, but are gentle, and you realize they are moving you somewhere. Deeper and deeper you float until you are surrounded by color, waving and refracting in the depths of the water. It is hard to explain it, but here in this place, you are breathing bubbles and surrounded by colorful jellyfish, and you've never felt more relaxed. As you begin to relax, you notice that the jellyfish closest to you that are touching you are beginning to glow with the same color. They are a cool blue, and this color then cascades like a wave into the others until at last the furthest from you turn blue. In turn, you become curious, and those closest to you turn from blue to yellow, which in turn cascades down the line. A memory pops into your head clear as day. It is the last thing that made you laugh really hard, and you can't help it, but you start laughing. In turn, the creatures begin to rapidly turn color until they are all flashing colors at the same frequency of your laughter. It is delightful. Then another memory, this one of sadness and worry. You are worrying for someone important in your life. Again, a wave of color as the creatures turn purple. It's then that you realize you can feel the creatures around you, not physically, but emotionally. They are amplifying your emotions and they are getting stronger. Red waves as you feel anger and frustration, followed almost instantly by regret, which flashes orange. Memories begin to flash by one after another, each tied to a strong emotion. And one by one, these emotions light up the jellyfish in a wave after wave of light and color. It is the symphony of your emotional state. You simply breathe through it, each breath sending a new emotion brought on by new memories. Bit by bit, you feel lighter. These pent-up emotions are flowing through you, as if the creatures were pulling them from you one at a time. It is as exhilarating as it is exhausting, and the visual stimulus combined with the bubbles of your breath are overwhelming. After what seems like ages, the color begins to calm. You feel tired, but hopeful. Perhaps more hopeful than you felt in a long time. You have been cleansed, and in doing so, maybe even healed. Gradually, the creatures begin to part until just as quickly as they came, they are gone, and you are left floating and peaceful. A part of you realizes that your time here is coming to a close, so you take extra care to be present and just float. Absently, you notice that your bubbles have started to float towards a single direction. And with one last breath to soak in the watery peace, you kick your legs and swim after them. Sure enough, a golden door is open and waiting, and you swim through. Once again, there is the sensation of traveling through a water slide, swishing you back and forth, and once again it reminds you of being a kid. Within the mountain, the empty pool sits still until the door opens and water pours forth once again, filling the pool, revealing your still form floating on top. The rough lines of stalagmites atop the cavern is the first thing you notice, and with a sigh, you paddle over to the stairs and climb out. Interesting enough, as soon as you climb out of the pool, your body dries, and as you don your clothes, you once again find yourself faced with a choice. You hesitate only a moment before choosing your next door. Hello, welcome back to Veritas. If you missed last episode, we kicked off the Elemental series. We went on a grand adventure, and hopefully you take time to check it out. But we just listened to the water episode, and Kelly Thompson is with me here, and that's the door you chose. Kelly, how did you feel about your choice?
Surprised, actually, because I grew up playing video games, and I always hated the water level of video games because you go underwater and you have to rely on these bubbles for breath, and then it's really stressful. So we're down there, and the bubbles are starting to come in, and I'm starting to realize that I'm not going to be breathing. I'm going to be underwater the whole time. I was like, why have I picked this?
Okay, all right, cool. Well,
so I'm glad it's over now.
Yeah, okay. Well, hopefully it was a little relaxing. I tried to...
It was wonderful, actually. It was way, not what I was expecting.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. What'd you think of the jellyfish?
Very cool. Very cool. I really... Again, imagery. It's just so helpful, just how you articulate these things. And what I found myself thinking in the process of feeling an emotion and then watching that emotion ripple out and then feeling almost like the extraction or the flow of emotion being allowed to sort of release as a healing method was really soothing, regardless of whether it was anger or frustration or calmness. And what I found myself thinking about quite a bit was how we just do this in our lives. We feel our emotions and they do ripple out and they impact these people around us, and we don't always think about how that's actually working. So having the visual of the jellyfish, it's like, oh yeah, right, just a reminder of when I'm feeling something who's also feeling that, who's around
Ooh,
me.
I like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. I love the idea of your emotions being kind of like a symphony. And if you could see it, I think it would give you pause to just realize what a storm it is.
Yeah, and even appreciation for the things that feel tricky. How like beautiful of a color that could be.
Right? Yeah. Okay, cool. And to be honest, actually reading it, I felt like relaxed.
Yeah, yeah.
I was like, oh man, I just want to go chill out somewhere.
Do you like the water realms of things?
I do.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Like water, it's it's very cleansing. It's very calming. So, but then of course we ended up back. But before we choose a door,
Right.
let's choose a
card.
Let's choose a card and see what comes up. So, shuffle them up if you want. We'll see.
Massive cards, Adam.
Yeah, you need bigger hands.
I do. Maybe you're pulling the next card.
Yeah.
We're gonna take this one.
Ooh,
The boar.
the boar. Okay, let's check that out.
So he's got a helmet and dandelions.
The boar, the warrior spirit, leadership and direction. Oh, there you go.
Cool.
Cool. I dig that. Helping you find direction in life. Wild and powerful animal, he calls you into the forest to discover a secret about yourself and the world. Cool. There you go.
Very cool.
So the boar, we've got the swan and the boar now so far. Okay, so now the moment of truth. We're back there. What door are we choosing next?
Well, I feel like we're choosing Earth now because of the boar.
Okay, all right, we gotta go Earth.
Yeah.
Cool. And we'll throw that same back to Art and our cameraman. What are you choosing? What would you choose? You chose air last time.
I'll go with fire this time.
Fire, air, fire. From water.
And where would you go,
Very
Adam?
different. I'd have to go air. I think so. Okay, Earth it is.
Cool.
Let's go check it out. Join me each week as a new chapter unfolds. What worlds will we explore next? What gods and monsters will we find? What part of yourself will awaken? Only one way to find out.